All right. Good morning, everybody. Thought I'd do a quick live. I wanted to discuss something real quick. Excuse my mess. This is also my studio where I paint. I don't have a separate place to do these YouTube videos, and I'm also um, working a little bit at my at my job. So I might pause here and there as I do some things. But I was watching some of the streams last night, and I was thinking about, Archie's birthday is coming up. So this is kind of a react video. I watched like maybe the first 40 minutes or so of the stream last night. It was taken down. I have no idea why. Did he say or do something? I think some of that stuff with JJ and all that's getting kind of ugly. Doxing people and all that. That's not cool. And I figuring out where folks live and insulting each other based on gender preference, and all that. Um, I don't think this is if it's not fake, but it doesn't seem fake. It seems like these guys are really going back and forth. I listened to JJ's channel with when he got on Archie's case, gave him some business, which I think was kind of deserved on Archie's behalf. But I kind of think Archie takes a stance like he's able to talk to some of these folks any way he wants to. Which just because he kind of spawned all this doesn't mean you can be disrespectful and whatnot. They're all still adults. But what I wanted to get into was I was kind of tripping on, and I got to do some work. Hold on, let me let me do a couple of things here. I got some shit to do. So what I really wanted to talk about is Archie's spinoffs, and he has a lot. I mean, he has more spinoffs than Archie Bunker. And Archie Bunker had 5 spinoffs. I'm not gonna name them now. If you can name all the Archie Bunker spinoffs, put them in the chat or leave it in the comments. I know them all. I know what I grew up at that time, so I know them all. But there's one you guys won't know, and I swear to God, if you do know it, it's because you Googled it. But I remember this show. Came out. It's not Gloria or whatever, Gloria show or whatever. So I gave you one. I gave you one. But I'm watching, and I'm seeing like you got Tim, the Cardinal dude, um, um, this. I mean, all these guys, man, they all have the dude Irix or whatever. Then from there, there's other spinoffs. I guess the Watch Gringa, and as much as you think that these people aren't successful because of Archie, they are. He kind of started the whole thing of talking about watches with a little bit of personality behind, not so much of it as just a straight and narrow watch talk, but with comedy and just kind of like scenarios and different topics, funny topics and whatnot. He started all that. Just like Kind Peace Gentleman kind of started the whole day in the life of. He did kind of start that too. But the panel discussions, the live streams, the topics, the comedy, the off topics, the tangents, and all that. I think that was created by Archie. Like I used to say, and I've said this in his comments, Archie is the Cold Crush Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Archie's the Cold Crush Brothers. He's the pre new school, pre drum machine sound of rap music. The rest of these guys are LL Cool J's, the Run DMCs, the Beastie Boys, all these guys who came out after the fact and was able to really get the fruits of that industry. You know, so the rest of them guys, because now these guys are spinning off other people and helping them get monetized. And I'm trying to figure out, are they bringing in new 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 subscribers, new donors, or is it the same donors listening to all the different shows? Is it 20% of the people donating to all the different shows? Like, does Watch Gringa and Watch Cardinal and does Tim Wright all have different subscribers and people who's giving them money? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like Archie, or is it kind of the same group of people who's alternating giving money on different days or whatever like that? So that I'm kind of curious about, you know. So and I think in Archie's case, I think his whole thing is kind of and I'm working. I think his whole thing is kind of, is there a vacuum in the watch community, money wise? Like, is there a cap to this money? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there like if people giving money to oh man, I just made a mistake. God damn it. If there's people give, God damn it, I gotta do this all over again. If there's people giving money to Watch Gringa or whoever, or Tim Wright or whoever, will they not give the same money to Archie, a day later because they already hit their budget, And that's not much, but that stuff adds up, you know. So that's one thing I can say about that. But yeah, so his birthday's coming up, and he keeps talking about how, I think he's turning 49. So he's not even 50 yet. Maybe he's turning 50, but he keeps talking about how old he is. Now, right now, I think Archie's show is in a slight lull, and I think it's kind of partially his fault. You kind of should have seen that you guys are young. They were gonna, and that's just human nature. They were gonna branch out. He should have known that. You know what I'm saying? They see this man getting all these super chats every day. He's like, well, hell, I can do the same goddamn thing. So he should have known that as a almost 50-year-old guy. You know, I used to work for a company in the vice president. I remember he had on his bookshelf, he had books on how to relate to millennials. Which I thought was kind of silly, but now hindsight, you know, maybe it wasn't such a bad thing to kind of get into the mind of how people think and all that sort of thing. But I think that he should have saw that coming. He should have been prepared for it, kind of in a way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think since Archie's approaching 50, I think my piece of advice to you, Archie, I know you're not watching the show, but if it happens to get back with, it's not like you let anybody on nowadays. Maybe I should come on, but I think you should stop talking about how old you are, because you're not that old. 48, 49, 50 is not that old. All right, I'm over 50. All right, yeah, my back hurts sometimes, but I look at my dad. When I was young, he turned 50 and beyond, and he had some of his most productive years in his life after 50. You know, he retired at 55. He started having a little business on the side. That kind of took off a little bit, so he's doing some work here and there. He remodeled the house again. You know what I'm saying? He had already remodeled the house when we moved in. When but years later, he's over 50. He remodeled the house all over again. You know what I'm saying? Hell, my parents are in their 80s right now. They just bought some furniture. So they just bought some furniture. The new furniture set. They're in their 80s, which is kind of ridiculous. They bought some new chairs. The other chairs, my parents are into like the hardwood, classical looking furniture and all that. So don't ever say that you're getting old. That's not cool. Just like I look at some of my parents' friends, they retired. Like my dad didn't do this, nor did my mom. My mom volunteers a lot, so her retirement, she's extremely busy as volunteering, starting programs for youth and all kind of different things she does like that. So that's what she was doing, traveling. But like my parents' friends, some of them took a different direction. They retired, they're all teachers. They retired in their 50s. And they turn right around and start working all over again in another school district. Maybe as a substitute, something, or so some of them got double retirements. One of my mom's friends, she lived in Cleveland, worked for the Board of Education. She moved to Baltimore. Then she retired in Baltimore, moved back to Cleveland, and then got a whole nother, in school district, and did it all over again, and got another retirement, over 50. So don't ever say that. So my advice to you, Archie, one, stop, stop saying, stop complaining about your age. Two, I would kind of reevaluate who the people you have on your stream is, are, whatever, plural are. Because I think you're in a lull right now. No disrespect, but I think you're kind of in a lull. Three, I think you need a new stick besides the comedy because you got competition now. Now you beefing. Now you out here beefing. You like 50 Cent, aren't you? Now you out here beefing. You don't learn how to beef. You need to watch 50 Cent, how he do it. He just takes shots, subliminal shots. Anytime he can get a jab or two, and he do it. You know what I'm saying? But he don't spend a lot of time on it. He waits for the person to have some sort of slip up, then he just kind of goes at him a bit. You need to study 50 Cent a bit. Study rap beefs. You got to study these rap beefs, Arch. Read up on this stuff. Don't shoot nobody, though. But three, I think you should lose weight. That should be part of your stick. Reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself, Archie. Say, lose. So that's part of your stick. That would bring a whole nother kind of new audience in. So like, stop talking about your age. Like I say, because 50, there's people out here starting whole new careers after. I just told you about my parents' friends. There's a fella I used to work with in Chicago. He started a company over the age of 50. I mean, there's been plenty of people over the years who had their most productive years over 50. Yeah, some people aren't so lucky. My best friend dropped dead 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean he was 51. Yeah, that happens, but you're relatively healthy. Keep at it. So I think part of your show, you should reinvent yourself. You got all this competition, you got all these spinoffs, you got all these mods. I'm about to name them. You got the mods, the Jeffersons, the Archie Bunker place, I think it was called. And there was another show, I think it was Gloria had a show too. But there's one more though, y'all. There's one more show. There's one more show that spun off of All in the Family. That's how you are. So you got all this competition. Like now you beef, now they're gonna be rebel streaming against you. So you gotta reinvent yourself, Art. You gotta come up with a new stick. Like I said, I think your new stick to reinvent yourself. Lose weight, cut the thing, cut your hair down, Jeff Bezos style. I tell you at about 260 or so. Get down to 210. That'll bring a whole new audience in, whole new stream, whole new super chats and all that. You know what I'm saying? People say there's people out here, this COVID thing and whatnot, and people are kind of down on themselves, people are down on their health, so you got to get out here and show that you can reinvent yourself, you can get back in shape and all that kind of stuff, But that's all I got, because I got a meeting in an hour, I got to turn something in. So I just thought I'd drop that on you guys real quick. I'll probably do one a little later. So yeah, without Googling, drop in the comments the last spinoff show of All in the Family, and it's not Good Times. Theoretically, I read somewhere how I don't want to get in that, but it's not Good Times. I'm not talking about Good Times because the Good Times, they were in Chicago, all right. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing about that on the internet that was never really explained. But it's not Good Times. There was another show that's a direct spinoff of All in the Family. Okay, so yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, so to recap real quick, all these spinoffs, you were the first. The only reason I did this show is because I noticed that I see some of your contemporaries you're hitting big subscriber numbers now, and they're all glad handing each other and giving each other reach arounds. But I'm wondering, since your birthday is coming up, will there be anybody will give you any birthday donations or whatever like that? And let me leave you one more thing. I seen something on the internet, the most underrated Rolex buy. He had a Yacht Master with the blue dial. It's a nice watch, hard to get, 16 grand. Most underrated, best Rolex you can buy right now, especially if you're new. I said this time and time again, try to get that OP39. Try to get it on the gray market. You know, if you're new, it's a beautiful watch. You can get the silver dial one. You can't, yeah, 39 millimeter. And, you can go in there and smooth talk an AD to get a new one, to get the new one. You're not gonna get a nice, the dope color, but you might be able to get a, one of the more bland colors. Going in and get a sob story. You might wait 6, 8 months, buy some jewelry or something like that. Buy your wife I don't know, some jewelry. Spend $600, $700. I'm pretty sure they make a pretty penny in commission from the jewelry. But yeah, so I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna follow up on that. Talk about that some more. I got some more topics, direct Rolex topics. I've been kind of going off into little stories and whatnot about my life. So yeah, I would appreciate it if you subscribe and like. And I'm about to sign out. I'll probably do one a little bit later, maybe after 3. Like I said, it's where I do my oil paint and all that kind of stuff. So I got paintings everywhere, which I need to get rid of. I need to sell these things. All right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching.